Uh, Good evening, guys. I hope the first video was helpful, and this is the second one. Now, in this second one, well, I'm going to be showing you how to actually do some calculations with this sample PyQt stuff we did last time. Now, this one didn't do really much. Let me run it again. Now, this is it. It didn't do very much. You just typed in some stuff and it just returned the what you typed as a label, this label. So this is it. But we want more from it, right? We want it to be able maybe to compute something, like the area of something, the volume of something, let's say maybe the cross-sectional area of something, amount of energy of something, the work done by something, anything. And for that you need values. Now there are certain key points to have in mind now. And also we will create a clear button, a button that will clear these fields each time we want to enter maybe new values. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the try except clause. Try except basically is a way for you to handle errors, something to try inside here, and you have the except that can take some arguments here depending on what you want. It could be a value error, it could be I don't know, a file not found error, you see a bit, etc. There are many sorry. But now if you want everything to be taken into consideration, you just write except, and that's it. And you say what should happen if there is an error. Okay, we are going to need this because if you are expecting a user to enter maybe say values, and the user enters maybe some other thing like a string or anything, it's going to disturb. And if that is actually the case, the whole application will close. So I'm just going to show you what it means actually in action, in real life, what that is. So suppose you were supposed to print this as int values, okay, val1, okay, and then here you're supposed to print it as val2, and here you're supposed to print it as int val3. So now this converts what was taken in from the fields into an int, you see, and it works fine. Okay, it works fine if the user actually enters ints. Okay, let's try. Okay, now what happens if I enter int values? If I enter int values, it works, isn't it? It works. But now once I enter a string, you see what happens, right? They say invalid literal for int this with base 10, this. Okay, I cannot convert that to an int, you see a bit, and that was an error, and the application automatically closed. Now we don't want that to happen, so that's why we are going to put all of this in a try except clause. That was the first thing. The second thing we're going to do is that we're going to create a clear button, that will clear the fields. Okay, and then we're going to change this result int, as you can see here. Okay, so we're going to modify this a bit. So I'm going to remove all of this. I'm going to remove it because we're going to be working with it. So basically the first thing I'm going to be doing now is creating a clear button, because it actually has to exist before we can go to actually use it. So I'm going to say self.clear button equals cure push button. Remember that cure push button is what we use to create buttons. I'll call it clear, so it will be written clear on the clear button. And then now I will associate the clear button to when it is clicked. When it sends a signal click, it should go to a method called do something one. Well, let me say 2, since it's true that here there's no 1, but well, any case, it doesn't disturb. That's it for creating the clear button. Okay, and then here I'm going to add it to our VBox. So serve.v underscore box dot add widget serve.clear button. Okay, now I've added it to the VBox. So what happens next is that I have to create the method. I have to create the method for do something. Def do something serve. Okay, now I'm going to be putting everything inside a try catch. Okay, I'm going to put everything inside a try catch. I'm going to collect the values from the fields. Try except, sorry, I'm going to collect values from serve.label1 underscore field. Okay, dot text val2. Obviously I'm going to be modifying the labels so that it should say exactly what I want to input. I'll be calculating the volume of a cube, so length times width times height. Basic, right? But generally it covers all what we have to do. So value 3, we have serve.label2 underscore label 3, sorry, underscore field dot text. So now that we have them, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write the logic for what I have to do. Remember, I have to compute the volume of a cube, which is general length times width times height. So I'm going to change the labels here. Instead of enter value 1, I'm going to say enter the length. Instead of saying enter value 2, I'm going to say enter the width. Instead of saying enter value 3, I'm going to say enter the height. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. So this will be, so let me even change it. This will be length, this will be width, and this will be height. Okay, so basically now all what I need to do is write my logic, which is I need the volume, right? So I'm going to say volume is equals to int length, length times width times height. Okay, I'm having I get the feeling we're going to have an error, but let's continue first. Int length times width times height. Okay, now that we have the volume, now all we need to do is print it. So what I'm going to say is now we have a result label. We have a result label somewhere. Where is the guy? Okay, here it is. Serve.result. So this is serve.result.set text. Okay, now we set the text is the volume of the cube is let's try and cubic units. Okay, and then I put the percentage and I put volume. Now it's preferable I change this to even float, because you might have decimals. Okay, might have decimals. So basically this is it. It finishes here. So I'm going to explain it again when I finish. So except, now I want all the errors to be taken into consideration, and I want that if there is an error, say like maybe the user, instead of entering a valid number, he enters a text or any other thing of that sort, it should print instead the error. Wrong type entered in fields in one or more of the fields. Okay, so that's what's going to be printed. That's it for the do something method. So now I need to write the do something to method for the clear button. Straightforward. I just have to get the labels, which are label 1 underscore field, and I use the clear method. That's it. It clears the fields. Dot clear label 3 underscore field dot clear. Okay, it clears the field. So basically that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we change the labels so that we have enter the length, enter the width, enter the height. The welcome, I'm going to change a little bit, like welcome, this program calculates the volume of a cube. Okay, so then we change the labels, enter the length, enter the width, enter the height. Okay, every other thing stays the same. Okay, now we came and added a clear button, a button that when we click on it, it's going to clear the fields for us so that we can enter new values inside. And now the do something function is the same as before, except that we have everything, our logic. This is our logic. Our logic is in a try except block, a try except clause, because we want that even when the user enters something that is not required or that is not good, the application shouldn't close. It should just print a message that we say that one or more of the fields was wrongly entered. Okay, and then we have now this for the clear button that clears the field. So basically that's it. Let's try this. I'm having a feeling yeah, it became so big because of this. Okay, because of this label. Don't worry. Now let me say I have a 34, I have a 3, I have a 5, and I have a 2. That is supposed to give me a something like 30 if I compute. Okay, they say wrong type entered in one or more of the fields, and that is because, as I told you, I was sure we're going to have an error. It's because you realize they say wrong type entered in one or more of the field, right? Because this is 3, this is 5, this is 2. What we actually have are text. Okay, we have text. So yeah, instead of putting float on all of this, I was supposed to say float length, okay, times float width times float height. Okay, this is what I was supposed to do, and so it gives me what I want. So let's try it again. Now I get a 3, I get a 5, I get a 2. Compute, and now you see the result is there. Okay, so you have to convert each and every one of them before you actually do the computation, because what you get from the text are I don't want to say text, it's some sort of object, some sort of object, and you can cast that object. Okay, you can cast it to a string, you can cast it to an int, you can cast it to a float if they are castable. And I'm not even sure this word exists. If they can be casted, okay, if they can be casted. For example, if I have a string here, like I have a string, now this cannot be casted. Okay, this is a string cannot be converted to a float or to an int or a double or any other stuff. Okay, so it's obviously going to give you an error. Okay, now you remember before when we did this, it closed the whole application. Okay, but now that we have it in the try catch, it just prints the error message that is here, that is in the except. Okay, this is the error message that is printed when you enter an invalid field. Okay, so basically this is how, if you have anything that needs to calculate something, you basically need something like this. Okay, you need something like this. You need it in a try except so that it can catch any errors entered by a user. So that ends the video. I hope that it helps. Basically, you should be able to do anything now with your project. If your project is to calculate anything, like, I don't know, calculate the mass of something or energy, as I said at the beginning, you should be able to do that now, because this is where the logic is in this do something, and it's in a try catch, it's in a try except. Sorry, I'm used to Java, and then now this is the method connected to the signal click sent by the clear button. Okay, I hope this helps. Good luck for the rest of your projects.